Luke Taylor.
Thank you very much, Madam Deputy Speaker. And I thank the Paymaster General for bringing these proposals, which I will be heartily supporting later tonight. And I think the point is worth making that this is not a personal attack on those hereditary peers. It is not political, and I think the make-up of the hereditary peers is irrelevant. This is about the principle of having accountability in our decision-makers. The Liberal Democrat Constitution begins that no one should be enslaved by poverty, ignorance or conformity, and I think it is a humanitarian thing to unencumber those hereditary peers from being disqualified from voting and standing in our elections. We've heard some incredibly powerful maiden speeches tonight, and I'm honoured to follow the honourable ladies from Glasgow North East, from Knowsley, from Filton and Bradley Stoke, the gentleman from Mid and South Pembrokeshire, but also my honourable friend, the representative of North Norfolk, who I'm sure will be an incredible champion for his constituents. I feel it's a humanitarian thing to give these hereditary peers the ability now to engage in the electioneering, the door-knocking and the campaigning, for which builds us as parliamentarians, understanding the views of people on the doorstep and giving us a more representative view of the people that we represent, something that is denied to them, and I feel it is my responsibility to provide that pleasure to them. It's refreshing to have heard the ambitions for reform from members on the Conservative benches. I do agree with the general principle that it is important that the reform is broadly cross-party, and I look forward to working with them in the future to provide more transformative reform.
I thank the honourable gentleman for giving way. Does he understand why some people might have some cynicism over the appetite for reform that Conservatives have, when some members talk about wanting a big package and others defend the hereditary principle in 2024?
Thank you for your contribution. And whilst I heartily endorse the desire for a big package, I also share his cynicism about the appetite for reform from the members on these benches. I also note the desire from the benches for those skills not to be lost for those hereditary peers who do contribute to our lawmaking. And I make the point I made almost 3 years ago, that I do see an opportunity for them to take some of the places soon to be vacated by Conservative MPs who need to step down because they can't maintain their lifestyles. So maybe that's an avenue for them to continue to contribute. I take this opportunity to speak primarily to urge the government to go further, and I think I echo the points that my honourable friend made at the beginning of the debate, to further improve the reputation of Parliament. And again, the call that this is not something that is heard on the doorsteps, then maybe you need to listen to your voters a little bit closer, because for me, when I knock on the doors, the disenfranchisement and the disappointment and the fury with the behaviour of the previous government and with politics in general does echo. And this, for me, is a step in the right direction to improve that accountability and to restore some of the respect that was trashed by the previous Conservative government. Absolutely.
Deputy Speaker, I just wanted to agree with my honourable friend that trust in politics is at a low point. And we know that that is in part because of the egregious failures of the party opposite when in government. And this is a small and initial step that we can take to start to increase trust in politics, and that's partly why this party won the election.
I absolutely heartily agree. This is a step in the right direction, but I am reassured by the nods and the assurances given earlier in the debate by the Paymaster General that there will be more reform and further measures to come later in the Parliament. One of the points I would give me a little bit of progress. One of the particular measures I think we should bring forward and is relevant to this debate is about capping donations to political parties. That would end the £3 million price tag that was put on a seat in the House of Lords by the previous government, and again start to restore some of the trust that those here making decisions on our laws are here on merit. Gentlemen.
for giving way. He is being generous with his time. I understand the point that he's making, but does he recognise, like those of us who are good Fabians on this side of the House, that there is value in incremental progress and that the proposals in this bill should be welcomed on their merits?
100% agree, and I expect to find on the doorstep being able to champion and to boast about making this speech and these measures to make that incremental gain and to try and remove some of the egregious historical anomalies that we still see in our system. I would make special thanks to the honourable member for Stoke-on-Trent Central, because I think he made the very, very key and almost, a blockbuster point that all of the hereditary members who are set to join the incredible gender imbalance on the hereditary peers who are eligible to join or take places in the other place, but also the sheer insanity that we have an entirely male hereditary peer cohort at the moment. And on that alone, it makes it utterly indefensible that we are claiming to protect that astonishingly unequal status quo. So on that, I absolutely thank you for bringing that point, which surely should have ended the debate on its own. So in conclusion, Madam Deputy Speaker, I look forward to voting for this bill tonight, but I do implore the Paymaster General to continue to bring forward measures as soon as possible to further reform the House of Lords. The Liberal Democrats will continue to act as a constructive opposition, as I hope we have done today, and hopefully push for more radical proposals to reform the House of Lords, which we have been teased by the honourable member for Stone, Great Worley and Penkridge. I hope I pronounced that right, and look forward to working with him to develop those plans. And hopefully some of those measures will restore that trust that the previous government left our voters. So I implore you all to support this bill tonight. Thank you.